What's up everybody, it's your boy Eddie here for your Overwatch, and today we have something a little bit different. For those of you in the know, the Atlanta Homestand was last weekend, and these events are kind of a precursor for the Overwatch League going fully localized next year. I was fortunate enough to go in person because Blizzard and Atlanta flew me out and put me up in a hotel, so many thanks to them and hashtag ad and all that. What these events are like is essentially prototype match days for the home teams, in this case Atlanta, as well as a few others to round out the scheduled matches. Also at this event were the Florida Mayhem amongst others, and I didn't know this when I first got there, but Florida being there is kind of a big deal for Atlanta natives, as it's a pre-existing sports rivalry. When in the arena for their match, you could certainly feel it, with this one lone Mayhem fan doing his very best to wind up the local crowd as much as possible. I can tell you, it did work, although his team's performance in-game didn't match that guy's top-tier banter. Now, I've been very lucky in the past. This job has enabled me to go to live events like this before. I've been to both opening weekends in LA and the finals in New York last year, and there's one thing that always strikes me when I go. The atmosphere in these venues, especially when a home team plays, is amazing. At first it can kind of take one a little bit by surprise just how passionate and enthused people get when their favourite teams and players pop off, but that's not in any way meant to be a negative. Excitement is contagious, and I always find myself carried along in the spirit of the occasion, even if I'm not as invested in the teams playing as their fans might be. Live Pro Overwatch is just a really fun experience, there's no other way to put it. If you're not already a fan of the league and haven't had the chance to go to LA to the Blizzard studios, these local events, which begin in earnest next year, are the perfect introduction to Overwatch esports. As this hype reel shows, being in this crowd when amazing things were happening was a very special experience.
Give it up one more time for the home team! FREEDO got in there, there's the grab. Protocol a little bit low. Oh boy, that's a shatter. Coming in from bait.
Now, aside from the actual matches, there were plenty of other reasons you might want to go to one of these events if your interest is a bit more casual. There was a cosplay competition with some absolute S-tier winners, this Junkrat being my personal favourite, a merch store with unique event items, and perhaps the best thing for a more casual fan, plenty of chances to meet some of your favourite streamers and YouTubers. Dafran was at this event in person. It makes sense, he was a former player for them, but more than the tall 1v1 against Mangachu or him coming out as the team's mascot, both of which were hype, there's no question.
Representing the Atlanta Reign, it is none other than Dafran!
The best thing about him being there was just how prepared he was to meet fans, take photos with them, sign shirts, and just generally be a nice guy. I got a photo with him obviously because we've been fans of his for a while, and it wasn't just Atlanta fans that he was interacting with, it was everybody. Plenty of Florida shirts got Dafran's signature, I can tell you. For me personally, the definite highlight was getting to meet and interview Jjonak, who, as anyone who follows this channel will know, is my favourite player ever. Atlanta obviously made the Reign players available to fans, but the other teams did official signings and were just hanging out in the lobby for everyone to meet. The whole event just had this super friendly vibe, and you could kind of see that reflected in the audience. There were a ton of families with young kids going to their first esports event ever, and their excitement, as I mentioned earlier, was especially contagious. If you've never been or have had the impression that a live Overwatch League event might not be your kind of thing, I strongly suggest you reconsider. I just can't wait till the London event, because let me tell you, UK crowds know how to get a venue rocking, especially if we play Paris and vice versa. With all that said, that's about it from me today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again to Blizzard and Atlanta Reign. I loved my time there. I think a lot of you watching would love this kind of thing too. I've been Eddie for Your Overwatch. I hope you have yourselves a great day. Peace.